Buffalo Bills, Quintin Morris had a 25.9% snap count last year, and even Tommy Doyle had a 6.3% snap count last year. That means the Buffalo Bills could very well be eyeing up tight end in this year's NFL draft. Now, I think Quintin Morris definitely showed out well, being very underrated last year. Every opportunity he got, he took advantage of. But this is about bringing in competition as well as being an extension of that offensive line to protect Josh Allen. Now, Dawson Knox, 6'4", right? A little bit lighter, somewhat a little bit faster of a tight end, right? Not known to be a big mauler blocker. He could still block, but I think the Buffalo Bills could be very well eyeing up a monster mammoth of a tight end such as Darnell Washington, a 6'7", like close to 300-pound tight end that could easily be that extension of the offensive line. I've been mentioning it in my previous videos that Bobby Hart last year had an 11.5% snap count offensively for the Buffalo Bills, and we clearly saw him in Ken Dorsey's scheme with 3 tackles on that football field, trying to improve this running attack. And now that we have Damian Harris, a more physical style of a runner, I really don't see the Buffalo Bills shying away from that 3 tight end set, but they might 3 tackle set, but they might mix it in with a tackle such as Darnell Washington. And I think he's definitely the best fit. Would the Buffalo Bills draft him 27th overall? To me, that's a little bit rich at 27th overall. But, you know, this class is very deep in tight end. You know, they could very well find another player later in the draft. But to me, personally, there is a possibility the Buffalo Bills trade back out of 27. The only problem with that is you lose the advantage of that 5th-year option, especially if you get a guy and you know how frugal the Buffalo Bills have to be. But again, you know, Dawson Knox, 6'4", 250 pounds. Also, look at all the wide receivers on this team. You know, we don't really have a 6'5" wide receiver, a jump ball wide receiver. And I think the Buffalo Bills, right, we go out, we get Trent Sherfield, physical, extremely gifted for being as heavy as he is, as fast as he is. It's incredible. It's kind of like Sammy Watkins, right? And then you got Deontay Hardy, who has just been shredding up the NFL. I mean, showing production. All the guys that we bring in show at least one season of production, like Damian Harris, 15 rushing touchdowns. So there's an element on this offense that I think the Buffalo Bills could fix. And I already mentioned it, being an extension of that offensive line, filling that Bobby Hart role for the Buffalo Bills at 11.5% snap count, while also consolidating the tight end snap count here with Quintin Morris having a 25% snap count. Right, that's huge. And if we bring in another tight end, it's not like Quintin Morris is going to be gone, because we use Tommy Sweeney, who's gone, that had a 6.3% snap count last year too. So Quintin Morris would still be used as well. And I really believe having a taller jump ball type tight end for the Buffalo Bills in the red zone would definitely help out even more. How many times did we get in the red zone last year? We didn't target Dawson Knox, the tight end. And I don't know if it's because of his lack of size, but it's something. It's something that Ken Dorsey and the Buffalo Bills did not feel comfortable with, targeting Dawson Knox in the red zone. And to me, tight ends, you got to be able to body guys out, you know. And I think Dawson Knox definitely does a great job. I mean, look at that catch against the Patriots. He's definitely improving without a doubt. But having a different skill set at that position, I think, would definitely benefit the Buffalo Bills. But just getting back into everything, right? Josh Allen. My previous video, we discussed it here. You know, we need to protect Josh Allen at all costs. At all costs. And I think the Buffalo Bills would be extremely wise to bring in a tight end. You know, they do an awesome job, right? They do an awesome job blocking. And, you know, what happens is once you are a credible blocker, once you're a threat as a blocker, you know, it makes things easier as a route runner. So you might look at a guy and say, hey, look, he's 6'5", 380 pounds. We expect him to go out for passes, but it's just not happening. And, you know, I think that's something to keep in mind too. But when you're a threat as a blocker, defenses play the run, right? So then you can kind of sneak out and make a catch, right? And we see that. You know, you see a lot of great tight ends in the NFL doing that dominate. You know, they're not the fastest tight ends in the world, right? They're not the biggest tight ends in the world, but they're able to be great run blockers, right? And in the offense, the play action and everything. But I just really think what we need to do is have every single piece set for this team going forward. You know, Ken Dorsey, he's got every little piece he's got to put together, match it, put it together, and I think we're going to be just fine. But, you know, the other real big issue here, I think, is Spencer Brown, Gabe Davis, you know, some big-time question marks that we're putting a lot of faith and trust into. You know, we got to see that production, and they show flashes. I mean, Spencer Brown, his rookie year at right tackle, drinking that beer with Stefon Diggs, that was unbelievable. I mean, he had a great season. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. I think Spencer Brown, too, you know, being injury-riddled last year, having that ankle really set him behind. But, yeah, it's pretty crazy, you know. So, a lot to go over here. But right now, we got to just get to this NFL draft, figure out what we can come away with, right? Get a guy, fill our roster, fill any more holes, and then go back into free agency and get the guys that actually could help us contribute. You know, I think it's huge. You got another player that's been on our team here for a while is Boogie Basham, right? We got Shaq Lawson last year, but Boogie Basham, AJ Epinesa, Greg Rousseau. We got to get more. We got to get more from those guys. Von Miller, too, coming back from an injury. So we could very well address that defensive end position. D tackle's another spot, too. What are we going to keep doing? Keep signing Jordan Phillips to one-year deal? You know, I don't think that's wise. We gotta think about longevity, think about saving money. I know we're paying a premium for these free agents. So as long as we could get some draft picks here, some younger guys on the team on a good fair value, it's just gonna help us allocate money to all other positions. So I think that's absolutely huge. Brandon Beane is a dang genius. Absolutely love it so far, but I'm really thinking tight end could be it. I don't think so at 27th overall, but who knows? That Darnell Washington is a freak of nature. I think if he's there second overall for the Bills, it's a no-brainer. Definitely a no-brainer. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit like, subscribe, go Bills. Peace.